Recording and streaming. Hello, the internet. Presumably I am streaming now. Welcome. My name is Joshua, and I will be leading you through The Darkened Sky, a campaign of my own creation. And we have with us a series of wondrous individuals who will be going through my wonderful story. So, what we're going to do first is just go over a little bit more about the world of Deus, which I was saying wrong last week. What's up?
Never mind.
Okay. Cool. So yeah. Is my stream title correct? Sometimes it isn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's correct.
Nice. Well, so we'll be going through a little bit of the background of Deus. As I explained last week, Deus is a world where the gods walk amongst the people. Gods are created from just existence. Things existing spawn off energies. Those energies coalesce into gods. The more something exists, the more something is perceived, the more something is remembered, the stronger the god. If it's only a couple people, if it only lasts for a moment, the gods are called ephemera and disappear. If it's a whole people or a story that's passed down from generation to generation, or a physical construct that persists and exists, then the gods gain more and more power. And they become least gods or lesser gods, minor gods, major gods, grand gods, or arch gods. And this isn't a world where people wonder if the gods are real and how the gods impact their lives. This is a world where they can physically exist amongst the gods, and the gods can exist amongst them. Because of that, this world has grown accustomed to the gods being present, and has been using the magic of the gods to make the world a better place. Or a worse place, depending on the individual, but we're going to look at the positive for now. Unfortunately, about 3 years ago, a war broke out across the world. Seemingly from nowhere, the entire world set to war against each other. And soon after that, following only a few months, is an event known as the Calamity, where the god of war, who was a major god, ended up slaying all the other gods. All those who did not bend the knee to war were slain. And the gods, when they do not walk upon the land, exist in the sky as stars. And in one night, the stars winked out of existence from the sky, piece by piece, until what was left was only the vaguest outline of some stars and the one red star of war. This was the Calamity. And during the Calamity, the earth shook. The skies were torn asunder. There are some reports of seeing gods fighting upon the land. But all that was left was pain, misery, and emptiness. All those who had found devotion to the gods, found powers, found a connection, suddenly felt that connection shattered. They were missing something that they grew up with, something that was always there, was gone, never to return. That is the way it was for each of our party members here. And I want to take a moment to go through each character, just a brief recap of who they are, and a memory they have of either before the Calamity or something around the time of the Calamity, to further develop your history. So, does anyone have something in mind, or should I just go in order as I choose?
I'll start.
All right, Anai.
So we see an eye. This is right after the calamity. This is like days. Uh, we see an eye, very disheveled, but still walking into the war rooms of the Imperium. Um, she she approaches. She's been a consultant and writing some peace treaties, trying to keep things at bay. Uh, you can definitely tell that her stark sky blue hair is not as done as well, like not been redone in the past couple of days. Like there's a good inch of her roots showing, and um, clearly like very face is tear stricken with tears. And as she walks in, she is approached by a couple of guards, and they she looks at them saying, "Why are you stopping me? I have been requested here." And one of the generals comes out slowly and says, "We requested you here for just a moment because to tell you are no longer welcome, and that every treaty we've made with you and through you has been broken. This fault is on you. You have been outcast from the Empire. Go, never return." And that is truly when she felt, as a devout follower of truth and honesty and balance, that is when she truly broke, and she fled to the outskirts of the empire and tried to warn towns of this impending war. But she was only one dwarf. Yeah, that's all I've
Someone
got.
else?
I'll go. So I had a slightly different memory in mind, but based off of what AJ did, I'm going to do the days right before Bronson's god fell. And so it starts with seeing a campfire at night, and we see Bronson surrounded by what looks like a bunch of other half-orcs, which are presumably his tribe from the north, and all of their tents. But they don't look like they're in a northern territory. They look like they'd be in a southern area. And as they're all milling about, telling stories, cracking jokes with each other, the audience starts to see a bit of shifting in the darkness around the tents. And just a second too late, although there wasn't really ever enough time, Bronson notices the soldiers that are surrounding his campsite as they rush in and just start massacring everyone. Bronson picks up his weapons and his relic and immediately goes to defend. Others join him, but when he realizes just how outnumbered they are, how caught off guard they are, he shouts out in Orcish for everyone to run, and he'll find them. And so everyone who isn't engaged or escapes their fight flees off into the woods, their condition unknown. And we see Bronson surrounded. And at this point, it flashes to him fighting for what looks like hours until the assailants finally are either dead or run. And Bronson, at this point, collapses along with all the other half-orcs that were there. When he gets up the next morning, Bronson's the only one that actually stands up. So we see him spending the day burying his tribe. And as he turns to do what looks like it is, as he turns to what seems to be a ghost search for the rest of his tribe, we hear clashing in the background, and Bronson realizes that there's another battle going on, and as a priest of passage, he has to choose between either going and finding his tribe or helping the spirits of these warriors about to die pass on. Knowing what his tribe would want, he turns and walks inward to the battle.
Sweet.
I can go. The more than a particular memory, you see flashes of Gris. First, you see him on a ship. He's on a ship attacking another ship before the calamity, taking their treasure, valuing their collections, rejoicing in the new things to find. Flashes again, you see his captain throwing overboard the collections that he's gathered, You see the tears running down Griss's face. Flashes again. You see Griss in the water on some float Sam with his two mates, Kendrick and Orson. They seem to be fading. You see Griss try to heal them with what spells he has. Nothing works. His god is no longer with him. It flashes again to an island where he's abandoned, gathering what he can from the debris. And that is the story of Griss.
Nice.
That's good. I can go. So you see a less disheveled Vetsy Sundry. She's walking amongst a very strange swamp area, but the swamp area seems very kind and inviting. There's some little critters that frolic. There's some flowers that pop out, and they are picked by Vetsy Sundry, and she's along with a couple of children. Always with her deity in her head and at her side, she knew what path to take, she knew where to go, and she knew how to help others too. Whenever the little children who would always follow her around asked her a question, she knew the answer, but she would always phrase it in a way that would help the children learn along their journey, knowing that they'd be safe with her response. As she goes to pick a flower, it's almost as if it's not there. Just a few moments ago, as with all the other flowers in her basket, as with all the other swamp flora goodies that the children collected with her, she knew she was supposed to collect them, or it would be the best thing for her to do. She stares at this flower in front of her, her hand outstretched, as if it's popping in and out of reality. She couldn't remember the last time where she wasn't sure of something, even as something as small as picking a flower. She turns, and as she sees the sky shatter with thunder and clouds and darkness, she drops the basket, scoops up the two children with her, and hurries back to her village, her long hair flowing behind her. She has not dressed as unreserved since that day. She has not been confident in herself since that day. She has not been confident in anything after her deity disappeared.
Cool. And we pan over to another forest setting, a small campfire burning. Rorik sits back in a tree watching the stars slowly wink out of the sky. And a few hours pass. He hears a rustle in the bushes, and in this time of uncertainty, he's instantly at the ready, bow in hand, knowing that the rustle was heavier than a deer, must have been something else. And he hears the sounds of two children approaching him. Turns out they play in that forest all the time, but as the stars were lost and the night of the light of the night sky was lost, they lost their way on the trail and happened to see his campfire. And he welcomes them and feeds them for the night, and in the morning goes and refines their village, somewhat disheveled from all the goings on, but he manages to find their way back home, and continues on his way.
All right. So those are our 5 adventures, the 5 trees, the 5 fish, 5 lost ones who have found one. What happened last week is these 5 stumbled across one another inside the city, or the fishing village of Tikva, where they were called upon by Ludus and Esmeralda to assist them, as their brother had been taken by a war priest. War priests are to be feared. They are the only ones left who have access to the divine magics that once were so abundant in the world, for they are the only ones left whose god still remains, the god of war. And the war priests use this magic to sow discord and cause war, win battles. But until today, until our adventurers found him, just outside of Tikva, no war priest had made its way into the heart of the empire. And no war priest had attempted to do so without an army following them. This was an unusual event. It seemed as though there was some specific reason. They took Romani into the woods, and they followed, our party followed them, and stumbled across, after stumbling down a hillside and fighting some spiders, they stumbled into a valley where they found what remained of the god of hope, small-bodied godling, that filled them with its magic. This feeling of hope pervaded. And the war priest dove down to slay the god and strike down the party, but Romani sacrificed himself and used the power of hope to destroy the war priest. And it was up to the party then to decide what to do with this little godling. After some discussion, they decided to return to Tikva and tell Esmeralda of what happened and return hope to this town. They brought the godling to the church, which immediately the dust blew away, the cobwebs disappeared, and light shone from within up the spire and spread across the entire village, alerting everyone that hope had been restored. We rejoin our party now in that moment, with the priest of hope bowing and crying, and the village of Tikva all kneeling before them, tears in their eyes. And that's where we are.
Get up, get up. There's no need to grovel. Hope was returned, but you must fight for it now.
The priest stands and says, "But fight who? Fight what? We thought the gods were dead. They were slain by war. What is there for us to do?"
What do you think? Keep hope alive.
We shall, but what's next? What will you do with the godling, with yourselves?
That's a tomorrow problem. I start stalking off into the night because it's late and I want to sleep.
Yeah. It's after 10 o'clock p.m. So where do you go to sleep? You were told about the tavern last time around.
Yeah. I didn't have any rooms. I had rooms at the tavern.
Yes, you did. That's right.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna move towards the tavern and find my bed and go to sleep. I got nothing else tonight.
Do Anai and I have separate rooms or nay?
You'd probably have separate rooms. You can have the same room if you want, but...
Okay. Bronson, Griswold, and Rorik, if you wish, it may only be a space on the floor, but if you wish not to bed down on a bed of hay, you're welcome to join us inside the tavern.
Hay's my preferred method.
It's a method I can respect.
I go look for a barn somewhere to lay down.
I'll pass too. I have been camping out nearby, but I'll come find you in the morning.
Mark, where are you camping?
Oh, there's a clearing just a quarter mile east of here. Pretty comfortable.
Do you mind if I join you? It's safer with two people.
Sure, I don't mind.
Plus, could use company.
I have 3.
You have -1.
Are negatives a concept that people understand?
I don't know. I definitely don't think Bronson should.
I don't remember when.
Negative.
I don't remember when negatives were invented. Oh, we're definitely past 0. My world is definitely up with 0.
Instead, he says, you have less than the 1.
I think
This is
negative.
fantastic.
I think negatives came before 0.
Did negatives come before 0?
I believe so.
Oh.
I don't think.
I'm gonna do
Bronson-
research and get back to you. I'll type it out in your chat.
Looking at a chart, they definitely come before it, but would humans know that?
This, viewers, is what most of D&D consists of. Arguing over nonsensical, unimportant things, but they're funny.
Yes.
Um,
Okay.
I do want to talk to the priest briefly after people start to file out.
Okay. Everyone is returning to their homes. So you walk up to the priest. Is the godling with anyone? Is the godling in the...
I figured it would stay in the
temple.
church, but actually that doesn't seem like a very safe idea.
Yeah, I've kind of presumed that Bronson's just holding on to the godling.
Okay, so you
if-
walk in, you pick up the godling, and you talk to the priest.
Yes.
All
Does the
right.
godling have free will at all?
Yes. I mean, it's talked to you.
Yeah.
But it struck us as being really tired, hasn't it? Especially
Yeah,
since
its power has been drained. It did muster up enough energy to evaporate a war priest.
Which, we could have done ourselves, but
Yeah. But, like, why put in the effort? I mean...
yeah, right. Why sweat?
Yeah.
I sweat.
so yeah, I walk over, ask Hope if I can pick it up again, and it can stay with Rorik and I.
It nods and reaches its hands up like a toddler.
Pick it up, put them on.
It cuddles around your shoulders and rests its head on your shoulder.
Bronson looks a little nostalgic.
Oh, did you have kids?
Dog,
We'll find
I
out.
messaged you about.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you did. You're right. I
Yeah,
forgot.
and guess what we're about to get into?
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Continue.
Continue, please.
Father, priest, I have a question if you don't mind.
Of course. Anything.
Well, I was not in this town to find godling. Like you, I thought gods were dead. There are some people I thought may not be dead. I am looking for some of my kind. Have you seen any other Northerners come through here?
Not all the way down this south. It was unusual to see you. Most of
They
the
were
nor-
here with me. Not
northern
in
raiding
town, but south of North.
the northern raiding parties don't come down past the river. I haven't seen any other northerners here.
Thank you. Have good night rest.
Thank you. I think I finally will. For the first time in years.
This is good. Be happy.
He nods.
And I'll just take the godling and walk out.
Alright. So
Just talking about the negative numbers. It's all nonsense.
yeah. What was that? Yeah, so I mean, Griswold, if you're looking for like a pallet of hay to sleep on, those you could find the tavern has a stable behind it. So you'd be able to find that there. Madam Sundry and I return to your rooms. Rorik, I assume you just go to the woods to sleep?
Yeah, with Bronson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we go together. We find a nice, comfy
So,
spot in the
Bronson,
woods.
your plan is to walk out of the village with the God of Hope in your arms, with Rorik, who you met a couple days ago to sleep essentially out in the open.
We find a comfy tree
Yeah.
All right, just making
and
sure
like
that's your
right
plan.
on the outskirts, like just on the edge of town, I would imagine.
Okay, so within view of the town, but in a tree.
Yeah, maybe if there's a hill on the side of town that goes, that rises up to a tree line, like just at that tree line.
Sure. All right.
That I mean, whatever. This is
I got
you
you.
have it more in your head than I do, but like
It's a little
just
bit
on the
more
edge of town.
flatland than that, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
you find your place.
Yeah.
And everybody finds a place to rest for the evening. Does anybody have a reason to not just sleep?
The horses are my guard.
I do.
All right, what are you doing, Sundry?
So Madame Sundry takes out her spell book, and then she flips many of the pages all the way to the back, which she's kind of using as a makeshift journal. She'll buy more pages, whatever. She scribbles some down some things from the day, and she kind of taps the quill on her chin. She says, "There could be a way to bring them back. This one came back after all. Then I wouldn't be alone, and I know what to do for once. Maybe it just takes time. And Madame Sundry racks her brain trying to think of anything that has to do with time and the deities. Is there a way I can make a check or something trying to recall some history of the deities that have to do with time passing and reviving?
You cut out there a little bit.
What's that?
You cut out a little bit.
Oh. Is there a way that I can try and think of some history or some legends of time passing and gods reviving, or something that has to do with deities and time?
You could make a religion roll if you want.
All right. With her eyes closed, Madame Sundry thinks and thinks and thinks.
Nothing comes to mind.
Perhaps after a night's rest, I'll think of something. She
Oh,
closes her spell book and tries to fall asleep.
All right. So everyone is sleeping through the night. And you all, for the first time in almost 3 years, have a pleasant night's sleep. You have dreams that are warm and fuzzy, instead of these horrid, repetitive nightmares that tend to haunt you. But something stands out in your dream, and it happens to each one of you. You feel the presence of the God of Hope behind you, but you feel it vast, larger than it feels in your waking life. And you look down at your hands, and they glow. And you wake from your dream with the sun rising.
Interesting.
I look at my hands.
They
Do they
are
look any
dirty.
different? So, okay. I hold them up to the rising sun.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
I would like to go wait in the center of town for the others.
All right. Well, where is everyone else headed?
AJ, go ahead.
I want to get up before the sunrise, if possible. and
Sure.
go back out to the valley and do a painting.
I already did
Oh,
one.
like way before sunrise? So that you can get out there by sunrise?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to roll for that to actually get up that early because of the exhaustion and sleep you're
That's
getting.
fair. I'll probably have woken up at sunrise and think, "Oh man, I wanted to get up and get a painting done."
You can make a Constitution save to wake up when you want to.
Nah,
Okay.
it's not that important. It's probably the light streaming in was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to go explore that valley and find a good spot."
But you feel rested for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, that's for sure weird.
Didn't you make a painting? You were...
Yeah, I did a
Yeah, he
painting
did.
at night.
But he wants to do one with the light.
Yes, with the sunrise. Like, I've got a lot of landscape paintings, and then a lot of like 15 landscape paintings and some other paintings here and there.
So you're in the room, kind of when we wake up, AJ.
Yeah, I probably get up and go walk down to the well and rinse my face off.
Okay. As you're kind of like getting up, Madame Sundry probably also wakes up. Her blue hair is not yet tucked under her scarf.
But you also have blue hair?
What's that?
You also have blue hair?
Yeah. Yes, it's written down unbeknownst to you having blue hair. Maybe that's why they put us together. Oh, Hanai, how did you sleep?
Peacefully.
And I?
Which concerns
What's
me.
that?
Peacefully. Which concerns me.
How ironic.
You know what? Maybe that's why I feel so good. You're right. I also slept really well. Wow, I wonder if we've had a stroke of good luck. I wonder if it's the weather. What do you think?
I think it was the discovery of the goblin.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, I can't wait to see it again. The little hands, little fingers. What are your plans for the morning? I'm curious of when we'll get to meet up with the others.
I have to imagine they'll be headed into town soon. As for
Okay.
now, I want to explore that valley and talk to Romani's family a bit more.
Okay, that's a great idea. I'm just gonna go down to the kitchen and ask for a hot cup of water for some tea, but I'll find you in the square with the others soon.
Alright. So I make my way to the well to rinse my face off.
This
Is
one's the
this-
tavern.
Is this shop open?
Yes, the general store has opened by now.
Oh, I go in it immediately.
Okay. So you enter the general store, and nothing really stands out, except for one thing. But as you're looking through it, it's a regular fishing village, so you'll see hooks, lines, rods. There's some leatherworked goods, some shoes, a little bit of everything that you'd expect a rundown fishing village to have access to. But on the wall, there's an exceptionally crafted, framed map of the old empire. It seems to not only be a map of the area you're in, but it has some references to changes that have happened since the fall of the empire and the rise of and the maintenance of the old empire. You're not quite sure where this map would have come from, but it is definitely the best quality map that you've seen of the area in a long time. And there's the storekeeper is wiping down a counter, and he sees you walk in. Oi! What can I do you for today?
Quality piecing out there.
Thank you. My nephew's a cartographer. He sent this one in special.
You willing to trade?
What, this?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, how much you got?
I got a white sequin glove.
No.
A mosaic tile with a glazed surface, multicolored.
So I take it you don't have money.
I have both of them.
Look, if you don't have money, there is something you can do for me.
Hmm.
And I'll just give this to you.
Hmm?
I might happen to owe a good amount of money to another establishment in the area. If you could find a way to forego that debt on me, the map is yours.
Hmm. Okay.
Awesome. So I
Who's
owe
this
the tavern. Yes. Lyra Ellen, who runs the tavern. You can talk with her how to assuage my debt. Other than that, though, is there anything you're interested in?
Hmm. I don't know. Is there anything good?
No. Nope.
Nope. Just the map.
All right then. I look forward to not owing the tavern.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, strange one. Anyone else doing anything?
Denali, do you still have dead people following you around?
Yes, he does.
I would have left them outside.
That's polite.
Yeah, it's very
Like a
thoughtful of you.
leashed dog, you leave them out front.
They're like
Okay.
kicking a what's it called? Tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Just kicking it, waiting for you.
I guess we'll drop the godling back off at the church. Bronson, where do you want to bring it? What?
Sorry, I'm saying out of character. I would have a quick conversation with Godling, like when I wake up and have the weird dream.
Okay.
So visions to us aren't necessarily common, but like they've happened to each of us, right? Like each of us has probably gotten visions from our respective gods.
Yes.
Okay. After taking a minute to like try to remember what happened in my dream, I'm going to say to Hope, I thought that visions were just because gods are lazy and don't want to come to Earth to tell us what they want us to do, or to come to Deus.
Dias. Yeah.
Then again, maybe Bronson accent he says Deus.
You can say however you want. There's a reason that the name is Dias.
Is it because it's Latin for God?
No, so Deus is Latin for God. A Dias, a Deus, which is Dais, is like a pedestal or an altar. So, and AE is a pluralization for female, for the feminine in Latin. So Deus is all of those. It's like an altar to plural gods, is why I named it Dias.
Okay.
Play on words in multiple languages.
Just a heads up, Dias is going to be the new Fuegon in terms of every session I'm going to have to be reminded how to say it.
That's fine, considering I said it wrong different ways multiple times in my intro. It's acceptable.
And for the viewers at home, although we're all basically at home, what I mean is, Denali's last D&D character, Fuegon, AJ could literally never say it right.
Fuegon. I tried to do intros all the time, and I just every time I looked at it, it looked wrong, and just like Fuegon just sounded wrong.
Anyway, back to talking with Godling about why it's sending us a vision when we're right there.
Cool. I'm gonna approach the well. Is an eye there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still at the well.
The only one who has not arrived temporarily with all the overlapping, I think that the two from the woods would be walking into town by now. By the time everyone is coming to the well.
Gotcha. Look, that guy's got a great map. We want it.
Agreed. Speaking of maps, actually, Griswold, do you still have the maps from Romani?
Of course.
Would you be willing to trade them?
Ooh, for what? For what?
The painting I made last night, of course.
Yes. Yes. Of course.
Cool. I hand you off the painting.
I give you the maps.
All right.
How many did I get? Was there just one?
No, I think it was like 4.
Okay, I give you 3.
Do I not actually get an answer from Hope?
No, you got no sort of answer from Hope.
Okay.
Well, actually, you didn't finish your question. To be fair.
Well, I was basically asking why, as far as I'm concerned, why are you sending a vision when like we're all right here, or I'm right here?
Yeah, you get no answer from Hope.
Okay.
So you had the same vision, Bronson? Hope
Maybe?
behind you, glowing hands.
Yes, that was dream.
Hmm.
We
It
all
was
had
very
vision.
good. I slept very well.
Me too.
We need to go to tavern. Talk to Lyra Ellen to get map.
While you do that, I would like to talk to Romani's siblings today. I think
Many.
Which one? Kendrick or Orson?
his living siblings.
Oh,
Where did you get them? Where did you get those?
what do you mean? They've been with me.
But from where?
Well, the ocean.
You fished bodies out of the ocean.
No.
And
No. They came with me into the ocean, and then they died in the ocean. Yeah.
I don't understand, but I don't think I will.
We were on a boat, and then in the ocean, and then they died, and now they're here.
But why bring them back? Why reanimate them? It's
Because he is
unnatural.
narcissist.
Yeah, I don't really know how that happened. I guess I needed company. I was losing my mind.
Somebody to talk to.
Nothing else to do.
And I will come with you to check on siblings. I should see how little girl is doing anyway.
You turn and Anai is already walking off as Bronson or as Griswold and Morik started talking, getting into the whole, you're bringing around undead people. She's like, I don't have the time for this, and walks away.
AJ, I shout after an eye. I'll take care of these two boys. All right, gentlemen. What is our destination?
Lyra Ellen,
And do we know where that person is?
the tavern.
All right. That sounds like a great place to be.
What was the shopkeep?
Let us go.
The shopkeep, you didn't ask for his name.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out. It's fine.
I have it written, and I know I didn't say it, so you didn't ask.
All good. My fault.
Um,
I go to Lyra Ellen with whoever will follow me.
the tavern is this one up here.
Oh, is it? What the
Yeah.
hell's the big building?
The big building is...
No.
That's where the mayor and the sheriff live.
Oh.
That's the center, the hub of town.
Gotcha.
All right. So you make your way to the tavern.
Kendrick and Orson wait outside.
That's good. That's very nice. How can I help you?
I'd like to clear the shopkeep's debt.
You want to clear Misen Moore's debt?
Hopefully through tasks. I brought hope here.
I thought that was brought in by a northerner.
What? Just because I'm short, I get no credit? I was with him.
I only saw the northerner, the gnome, the short woman, and 2 skeletons. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, the
Who you-
skeletons are outside. They're mine.
Ah, of course.
Do you want me to bring
Well,
them in?
no, I appreciate that you left them where they are. But I'm not so sure you're going to be financially able to pay off the debt
You want
I'm
to
owed.
trade?
Do you have 100 gold pieces?
No.
Then no, I don't want to trade.
What about favors?
Potentially. I have a message I need delivered
Okay.
up in the frost,
How far is that? Sorry, I
past
just
the
came off
northern
the
river.
ocean. I don't know where I am.
The frost is the expanse north of the river that is beyond the confines of the old empire. Let me take you guys over here. It is the territory of the orcs. It is the entirety of the frozen north is known as the frost. I have a colleague who I've been needing to get in contact with, who has not been responding. If you can find a man named Raz and deliver him this, she takes out a letter. And you can swear to me this will be done. I will forego his debts until I hear you've betrayed me.
So you'll accept a promise of a thing?
Do you intend on lying to me?
No, I'm just making sure I understand.
Yes.
Also, I want 25 gold.
No.
I brought hope.
Yes. That's very nice of you.
10 gold.
I have no interest in paying you for
Sounds like
good.
an important task.
Yes, a task worth approximately 100 gold pieces. The debt I'm owed that you're looking to forego.
Might be worth 110. Persuasion roll.
You can roll persuasion if you'd like.
As he's rolling persuasion, Griswold, you hear a familiar voice in your head. It's a shy whisper from a friend saying, "Perhaps we should quit while we're ahead."
I'm
You
not
can respond.
I'm not sure why you're looking to forego his debt, but he has already refused this task, and if you refuse it yourself, that is fine as well. I'll find another to do it.
105 gold, and I'll give you a white sequined glove.
You want me to give you 5 gold pieces for your trash?
Trash! Trash!
Yes.
Give me a trinket, and I'll accept your request.
She looks around the bar. She pulls out a broken mug.
Perfect! Better than your stinking gold.
Good. So you now have a broken let's see, what do I want to make it? Brass mug. And a sealed letter from Lyra Ellen.
And it was going to
a man named Roz up in the frost. I wrote out side quests.
How do you spell that? Roz?
R-O-Z.
As she does that, Madame Sundry leans across the counter, like both of her hands open to like receive the other lady's hands. Does she put them in mine?
Does Lyra put her hands in your hands when you just come up and extend your hands?
Yes.
No.
Okay. If she does not, then I do this. Patience is a just virtue to see on this earth, or to see on this plane. And then she goes, Griswold, are we all set? Do we got what we need? Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're good. This one needs to learn how to bargain, though, and trade.
Yes, Griswold, yes, she does. She needs to learn, and that's okay. We have some learning to do, too. Come now.
Can I get a written affidavit that you will clear his debt?
Only if you sign the same contract saying that you will deliver the letter without opening it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, she pulls out ink and quill and signs it off. And...
Better be no timeline on there.
What?
You didn't request a timeline. That's all I'm saying.
No. It must be done. I don't know what your plans are.
Okay. Don't get upset if it's in 5 years. I slam away the affidavit.
She just looks confused.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I back out of the shop.
Alright, so you guys go to Ludus and Esmeralda. Esmeralda's in the same place she was the night before, still resting by the fire, but her breathing seems stable. Most of the blood seems to have been cleaned off the floor, and a lot of the papers and books have been put away. I'll answer that in a second.
Okay.
So it would take between 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
So just as a comparison, if you guys are interested, the scale in which we're talking, each grid box on the world is about 50 miles square. So you are currently here.
Okay.
And the Frozen North, or at least what was the Frozen North before the Raiders extended their territory, began up here. So you'd have to make your way all the way up there. And then it extends across the entire continent. And actually, Bronson, you would know this area over here is not part of the Frozen North. In fact, it is considered a cursed landscape that is avoided at all costs. But you can deal with that later.
Okay. Yeah. So it's about 500-ish miles. 400 to 500.
300. Yeah, 300 to 400 miles.
Okay. Yeah, that's about probably 2 to 3 weeks worth of hiking.
I just Googled it, yeah. I know you're speaking from experience, but I asked the magic brain.
Well, I'm speaking from planning, really.
That's true.
Okay, I'm gonna start by checking on Esmeralda, which I'm guessing that she's fine, just recovering.
Say that again.
All right. Read.
Oh, I'm checking on Esmeralda and making sure that she's doing okay.
She's stabilized. She's breathing well. She's tired, but she's doing well. Anai.
I walk in with Romani's maps in my hand. And I make eye contact with both of them. So, what else do you know about Romani and about your brother and the God of Hope?
I don't know. Remeni was a devout follower before the calamity, but since he's just been throwing himself into his work. He's a fisherman down at the docks. And he would go to work, go for walks in the woods, and come home. It was only in the last few weeks that he started rambling about this change in the landscape. I didn't know what he was talking about. He said that there's a valley that wasn't there 3 years ago, and I thought he had finally cracked. The workload was getting too hard. But that's all I know.
And that's his brother saying that?
Yeah.
I turn to look at Esmeralda. Anything to add?
That's all. He
What?
mentioned that we're not the only ones he told about the valley, but we're the only ones who even came close to believing him.
Was Romani devout worshiper of hope before calamity?
Yes, I mean, we all were. Well, not necessarily devout, but we all believed in hope. Remeni was very close.
How did the war priest find you were here?
Don't know.
Find Romani.
We don't know.
Can I roll insight to see if they're trying to hide something from me?
Yeah.
Where's insight? Insight.
You don't think they are?
Who else did he tell? Anyone from town? Anyone from outside of town?
We have not had travelers in months. You're the first ones here in almost a year.
Has anyone left town in the past couple weeks? The war priest did not just walk into your town and find what was going on with Romani and the God of Hope. No, somebody led him here. I don't think your town is safe any longer.
We don't know. We work on the house. We do projects. We don't talk much with the rest of the village, but you're welcome to ask about down by the docks. They worked with him. They may know what happened a bit more than we do.
Well, I would suggest you leave town. I can't imagine this place being safe for very long.
Where could we go? Nowhere is safe.
Empire is safer. Move towards
mean-
the capital.
Yes,
what you can.
it's safer, but there's already limited food. They're taking in refugees from everywhere. The only stories we hear are from people leaving, trying to find a better place south. We had a couple travelers a year back that tried to buy a boat so they could leave. We didn't hear good things.
Then go south. What I'm trying to tell you is your home is not safe. One priest of war already came here and sought to destroy. It succeeded, sort of, in destroying your brother. Nearly killed Esmeralda. I think it's a matter of time before another comes to figure out what happened to the previous one. And I don't think there is anybody that'll be able to stop them.
We'll arrange a town meeting. Or I will. Esmeralda will remain here and rest. Ludus stands up and leaves.
Thank you. I walk over and pat Esmeralda's cheeks, and then ask her, "Do you have any idea of these maps that he made, where they might be in reference to?" And I show her the maps.
The valley. The valley he kept talking about. He was trying to show us that the comparison to the old maps. And he overlapped them in such a way so that older maps could line up so you could see that they're different. He rambled on about it. I couldn't see the difference. He was
Thank
not a
you.
cartographer.
Clearly. Thank you. Stay and rest well. I
She nods
brush
off.
her hair and stand up and walk out.
I'm going to give her some type of tonic or herbal medicine from my herbs kit. Do you want me to roll with my herbal kit?
Yeah. Alright, you touch her up.
As you guys are wrapping up, Rorik walks in with a little basket of fruits and berries and edible mushrooms and lays it next to Esmeralda. It's important you keep up your strength, child.
Thank you. She picks up the slightly dried peach, a little bit gray, but smiles and bites into it.
They're not as good as they used to be, but they're still pretty darn good.
She nods and keeps eating.
Can I offer one to Hope? Is Hope still with us? Or did we drop it off?
Bronson's still carrying Hope.
Yeah, I have it in a little, was it papoops?
Oh, that's right, yeah. Can I offer Hope a peach?
The gods don't consume, but
Yeah.
you're welcome to.
Well, I'll offer. I don't know.
It takes the peach, glows a little bit, and kind of evaporates the peach.
Cool.
Are we all together when that happens?
Nope, that's as they're walking down. So you might be able to look up and see them walking down the path and that happening, but it's not amongst you guys.
All right, I won't do it then.
Can I go back and see what's his name?
Myzen Moore.
Myzen Moore.
Yep.
All right, I go into Myzen Moore's. Does he have any of these items? I wrote down a list.
Fishing tackle, definitely. Ball bearings, definitely.
Block and tackle probably.
Yeah, block and tackle also. Yep.
I got it.
What?
I got it. Give me the map.
Show me.
I also want fishing tackle, ball bearings, and block and tackle.
And pay for them.
No. Do you want it or not?
You're reneging on our deal?
I'm adding things additionally.
You've altered the deal.
I'm bargaining with my bargaining piece.
Okay.
Okay, here you go.
He rummages. Behind the counter, he puts things in a bag. He closes up the bag, he puts it on the counter. He takes your debt thing, shoves it in his pocket, takes the thing off the wall, looks at it sadly, and hands it to you.
Do you want the frame?
Yes. He takes the frame.
Do you have a map case? Must have come in one.
I might.
Feel like that should be part of the deal.
You got a gold?
I got a gold. Here you go.
He takes your gold. He gives you a map case.
Amazing. I'm down to 1 gold.
Do I have any gold?
Yeah, I forgot to roll for that.
My sheet says 0 gold, so it's fine.
Great.
I guess gold is usually a part of your background, and we didn't do backgrounds.
That's true.
I just did it based on your class. You get a certain amount based on your class as well.
Oh.
I mean, the economy is pretty depressed with the lack of gods. So,
Yeah.
Just like everyone else.
Relatable.
So you guys all reconvene near the well at around the same time, presuming you all walk towards the center of town.
And you said it was a map of...
It's a map of the entirety of the old empire, so ranging from... I'll show you.
Maybe I missed it. What did you do, Griswold, to deserve the... Like, what did you do to wipe out the dude's debt?
Oh, I signed a thing saying that we might go to this place eventually. Maybe.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. What he did was...
I promised to go somewhere.
You picked up a letter that may or may not just end up in the trash.
Well, I will not throw it out because I signed an affidavit. And I don't renege on things. But there's no timeline. At all.
So from the storyteller's perspective, what you did is you have gotten yourself a map, which is useful for me to tell stories, and you have gotten a hook into another storyline. From your perspective, in character, yes, this is a ridiculous scenario. From my perspective as DM, this is a very helpful one. So anyway, the old empire extends, is what is between the rivers. So the empire, as it stood before the war, extended... Oh, I can actually draw.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally it's a side quest, right? Like,
Yeah.
This happens all the time in RPGs. They just give you shit with, like, promises.
I designed the beginning of this to feel like an RPG.
Yeah.
So the old empire actually... Shoot, I already messed it up. Sorry. No. So the empire originally stretched from the spine to... There's actually a desert over here. Up around all the way to the forest, up towards another desert, and then back around the frozen north. So that is what the empire used to be. Now it has been reduced to live only the 3 lakes and what is surrounded by the rivers. So it is a much smaller region. So you have a map of the old empire. The rivers are guarded. You can actually see on the map there are elven citadels of the original elven empire that was across the landscape. They have their main citadels were at the base of the river of the south, where it connects to the sea. In the north, it was laid across the 2 forks. And there's another citadel centralized right at the edge of the forest that used to go into halfling territory. Why are we drawing over my drawing? Is adding color?
I
Yeah.
was doing that. That's not me.
It's Zuba.
Yeah,
It's
I
always
thought that
Zuba.
was you. I was
That's
trying to
me.
follow
Not
the
me this time,
color.
I swear.
Nah, Zuba's artistic, man.
There we go.
No,
it's
it's me. Fuck
My
you.
mouse turned off. I would have used my mouse if I was going hard on that.
Let the viewers know that Joshua does not think that I'm artistic, and that's incredibly rude.
I mean, you
Wow.
can't draw.
Is he wrong though?
And just whoopsies. That's not what was supposed to happen. Excuse you, silly. There was also, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? Oh, I need to right click, that's why. Okay. There was the elven, the wood elven empire was this area. And then the frozen north was up here. Oh wait, actually. It's actually all the way over here. It's all this area. I'm just gonna do #ease across it, because like why not at this point? Because I already screwed it.
So, okay, that's the
There we go.
frost area.
Yeah, so this is the frost or the frozen north.
The
And
red
this
area.
is what was the empire.
So that's what we have a map of.
You have the old, so I realize now it's confusing how I named things, but the old empire is what remains of the empire.
Okay, so that's within between the 2
So
rivers.
within the blue is the
Yeah.
old empire, and then
Got
the
it.
empire as it was is the red.
Got it.
All right, we're gonna come back. All right, so you meet up in the center of town. Griswold seems quite thrilled.
The trades I've made today.
What kind of trades were those, Griswold? I mean, did you get something else after you harassed that poor shop lady? Or tavern lady?
Yeah, I got the map
Oh, sweet. That's actually pretty cool. Nice work, Griswold.
and some ball bearings and some fishing tackle and a map case.
Might I borrow your map for a minute, Griswold?
Um,
I will give it back just for a couple minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Griswold, what is your plan with the rest of that stuff?
Collect it.
Fair enough.
Why do you think I have this sack?
That explains a lot, Griswold. Thanks for sharing.
I try and lay out the maps that Romani drew on top of this world map and get a rough idea of just trying to lay it out, see if I can see what he was seeing in the maps. If not, I'm gonna take a hike.
Sorry, Isaac just texted and said that his computer crashed. What did you just say, AJ?
Oh. Well, I'm gonna try and overlay the maps similar to as Romani was trying to explain it to Esmeralda, and see if I can see what he was seeing. If not,
So-
I'm
You can, so the scale of the maps are very different. But you can see the area that's being focused on in Remeni's maps has nothing to indicate anything special on the big map.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to suggest we take a hike today. I want to go back out to the valley.
What for?
I want to see if there's anything recognizable specifically that if we go to a new space, new town, and find a valley along the way, if we see it just as a valley, or being able to distinguish if something is just a valley or if it's a new valley.
Hmm.
And we have an instance right here, just outside of town, that we can check against to have a better understanding to move forward.
Okay.
Didn't you say when we tumbled into the valley that there was something about rock? Some
Yes,
way
but
it was cut?
it was a little dark, and I want to see again during the light of the day.
Also, I need to go to the Frosts at some point. Find a guy named Roz.
At this point, Bronson lets out a bellowing laugh. Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to North?
Kinda.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I was there once, I think.
I've kind of been
Not
everywhere,
not
but
pleasant.
not really everywhere, if that makes sense. You wouldn't understand.
No, but I understand. Tiny men like you in North.
You think I travel alone?
You think that matters? Your balls will freeze off.
Okay.
Perhaps, Griswold, something to find next on your journey would be a very small scarf. That might help.
You have one
A
on your
very,
head.
very small scarf, perhaps small army for half orcs under the command of war priest there, or warlord. Right?
Hello, Isaac.
I
Hello.
Welcome
have
back.
you.
What a pain.
You jumped
After
right
my
around.
computer restarted, Old Funny wouldn't let me back in.
You missed our conversation about ball muffs.
Ball, what?
Ball muffs. You know.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Griswold mentioned
Skriddle
going.
sock.
Oh.
Griswold
Okay,
mentioned
that's
going to the north, to which I said, "You're tiny man. Your balls will freeze off."
oh. So you need ball muffin. Jeez. Cool.
So Isaac, our chat is addressing you directly. Apparently, two of the members in our chat, Iris and Amanda, are decided to marry each other over chat. And right when you crashed, and they thought you didn't want to be witness to their wedding, so they want to know if you want to be witness to the wedding.
Yeah, no.
That was both
Wait,
answers.
what?
That was positive and negative. Oh, all right. No, he doesn't want to be a part of it.
Oh, he's gone again.
Wait, did we get to watch this or nay? That's exciting.
No, it was nothing personal.
I have you to deal with Orc Army. You jump Spider in half.
You realize that there are orcs 2 feet taller than me, right?
Yeah.
I am one man.
Okay, we don't go there now. We go there later.
I want to mention something else. You guys noticed that I have a flail on my waist today as well.
Is that new?
I didn't have it yesterday, but I have it with me today. No, but I hadn't gotten it out.
Is that new in character?
Old, actually, quite old.
I didn't ever see you carry one before. I don't think when we were working together and traveling. What prompted you to keep it now?
It's something I've kept away for a couple of years since the calamity, and figured time to start carrying it again.
I think that's a wise decision, and definitely a wise decision. Perhaps I'll think on what spells I should be preparing too. I wouldn't want to be caught with my scarf down, per se. Are you expecting any sort of trouble, Anai, like in the near future, or are you just being cautious?
I'm being cautious and prepared.
I see. Well, speaking of prepared, what kind of information were you able to gather?
Anyone want to share the information that I have laid out to all of you? I think AJ froze.
Well, AJ's not sharing. And he's not going to the wedding.
No, neither thing.
Do you mean information from
From the
Nope.
two siblings that weren't
Is that
dead.
AJ? Is that AJ getting in all choppy?
Yep.
I don't hear him at all.
I didn't even have his picture.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Or
And
your favorite game.
Oh, he might have caught up. Nope. Yeah, when I got back into the lobby, I was already frozen, so I thought you guys were just messing with me and just like sitting very, very still.
That's funny.
Hilarious.
no, Madam Sundry disappeared. Goddammit.
I assume we're just gonna travel up to the valley then. There's nobody has a problem with that, right?
I might disconnect.
What?
I might disconnect in just a second.
Why?
Because I think my power just flickered off. So my internet might die in a moment. Because everyone got real laggy real fast. And right as a boom of thunder happened, and my... everything... Hold on.
Okay.
Once again, viewers, thanks for joining us today. This is part of the episode in which, if we had sponsors, we'd insert one. Today's episode is brought to you by Almond Breeze. Nutty, breezy, goodness. It's not milk for your
Yes.
Not milk for your mouth.
We're sponsored by almond milk. If you want to use even more water than regular milk, buy almond milk.
It's like skim
Almond
milk
milk.
in her
It's just
cow.
milk.
Yep.
What?
Coming to a
It's
farmland
just
in
milk.
California
That's
near
why.
you. Yep. Coming
California.
to an already dry aquifer to
Yeah.
near you.
California.
Wait, when can we
We're
start-
dying of drought, but at least we don't drink cow's milk, so we use even more water.
When can we start making fun of Whole Foods?
When?
I
Whenever
mean,
you want.
5 years ago, yeah.
Yo,
Anyways, what other sponsors we got?
Tostitos
Ooh,
with lime. It's pretty good.
If
so
you've
we know
ever
that-
thought,
Tostitos.
I enjoy
Oops,
this
sorry,
salsa, but I would like it to go straight into wounds on the top of my mouth. Try Tostitos.
With lime.
With lime.
Tostitos.
So you really
During
know
quarantine-
when you get the cut.
yeah.
Tostitos. During quarantine, no one knows when it's just you eating that party-sized lime chips.
I mean, if we're going
You
down
got
that
good
route, let's
eyes
talk
there,
about
right?
our the family-sized Cheez-Its I'm eating by myself, or the family-sized Doritos I'm eating by myself. That I don't have both of with me right now instead of dinner.
Amanda, if you're watching this, which I know
Josh,
that
you
you
need me
are,
to
you
make you
should
some
yell at
chicken and
Josh for
waffles?
his bad diet.
Hey, I ate today. Okay, I also made cinnamon buns today, and I ate some of those.
Yeah, that's not exactly healthy either.
But I know what's in them. I made them myself.
All right. Back to skipping.
This episode brought to you by Bad Diets.
Sorry
That's
about
it.
that.
Welcome to D&D.
In quarantine, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
No, this episode brought to you by the ball peen hammer. Last week was the claw hammer. This week it's the ball peen.
Wow,
God,
we've got a whole variety of hammers for you.
And way more sponsors than I would have expected a week in.
Yeah, I'd really like to get some of the money from that, but
Yeah, our marketing team has really been off, going off.
Oh yeah. Shout out to them and our other.
why you calling me out like that, Amanda?
What did
Why
she
you gotta
say?
do that?
Josh's diet sucks.
I had salad I was going to have salad for lunch yesterday, and then you took it. So
You had the thought of having salad for lunch, which is
Yeah.
all that matters.
It's fair.
We could.
So let's play D&D.
We're
Okay,
also
let's play.
on-
We're all here. Let's go.
I don't know, AJ just froze
Uh,
again.
Mallet.
God fucking damn it.
AJ, are you plugged into a cable?
Not my internet.
AJ, go into your closet, get an Ethernet cable, plug it in.
Plug it in. Wow, all these sponsors.
Sorry, I don't own like a 30-foot long Ethernet cable.
You need to buy one.
Why
They're like
not?
buy
Wales
one.
had one.
literally $10.
Wales or John?
I would have to trace
it was
an
Wales that
Ethernet
had it.
cable
Maybe it was Wales.
around my entire bedroom down a hallway, and then it might need to be 50 feet long. Let's be real.
Nah,
That's
dude.
fine.
Drill a
That's
hole in the
fine.
floor and don't tell your landlord.
Or do it along the walls and ceiling.
Anyway,
Denali
before
didn't like that
AJ
one.
cuts out again, we should try and get a little bit further in our story.
Let some of the information that Anai gathered actually move to the rest of the party so that everyone can make decisions as a whole.
Yeah. So I explain that the siblings did not have any good idea of what was going on with Romani. That he kind of has been past week or two went off the rocker and found this valley. I explained to them that it's probably not safe to stay here for an extended period of time. I kind of showed them what he was trying to show with the maps, but clearly he's not a cartographer, so it's not super useful. And then, yeah, I don't think there was anything else. I'm trying to remember from earlier if there's anything else I needed to bring back to the party.
By chance, does Griswold's face or expression change when you say the word cartographer? Okay. No one's gonna make that connection. Okay, awesome. Love it. Maybe that wasn't even important, but it doesn't matter.
What connection are you talking about?
The guy in the tavern said that his nephew is a cartographer.
So if we needed a cartographer, we can find one.
Ow.
But maybe that's not important.
Not to Griswold.
Okay. Cool.
So what y'all want to do? You got a
I think
whole
we're going
town
to-
full of people, and then
Yeah.
you also have the entire world.
Sounds like we warned them of the problem. We're going to the valley to look at it again. And then I think we are getting the fuck out of here.
So I am concerned that this war priest came here. Have not been able to figure out how he found out about this town or about the people in the said town. So Actually, I kind of want to wait till the meeting ends and watch everyone leave to see if anyone has like anyone's look is beyond the
You
concern.
think
I have to pack up everything.
you think there is mole or traitor? Because I don't actually think Bronson would know what mole is.
Someone might have let something slip unknowingly, or knowingly let something slip to someone that they didn't think was going to be a problem, but that person became more and more of a problem. I don't quite know how to explain that. I don't necessarily then try to have this village be led somewhere and uh, yeah, all right. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think there's a. I don't explicitly think there's a mole, but there might be.
I suppose could not hurt to stay in town one more night to see.
Are there any suspects, Anai? Is there anyone that, in the town that you're suspicious of? Or is that something that we'd have to do digging for?
Not at the moment. I have not seen anybody be suspicious yet. But I think leaving this town meeting will be the first chance for somebody to catch my eye, or to catch our eyes.
That makes sense. And if we're all there, that's more of our eyes to catch anything. Gee.
Hope is not something you can contain. Word will spread. We must
That
leave.
will.
Cannot stay, or we will die.
That's a good point, too. Well, regardless if there's a mole, if we don't tell anyone else our destination, that will keep us safe and the little deity juniors safe for the moment, right?
Meeting does not matter. Just leave.
Well, until we get somewhere else. The moment that we enter a town or somewhere with this thing, people will know. People will talk, which is good in some ways. We want people to know that hope is alive, but not the wrong people.
Right. I mean, if we can get it somewhere where we'll be safe and the little deity junior will be safe, it'll also grow. And that would make it stronger and able to, I guess, look after itself. It sounds like we're talking about, like, a mortal or a little critter. It has to grow, it has to learn, it has to look after itself. This is weird. I didn't know they started out so small.
There's much unknown about the gods. Are we taking hope with us?
Yes.
It seems to be the safest option, yeah.
Yeah.
We go, we interact with nobody until we get to destination. Then we choose absolutely new destination in different direction. Every time.
Agreed.
Do we want to leave during the daytime or during nightfall when less people might spot us?
Does not matter. Leave in direction. Choose other direction after go.
Okay. Other thoughts?
Yeah, just stay on the move. I think that's a safe a safe way to do it.
I
The
avoided people for a
priest
long time.
exits the church and walks towards you guys.
I avoid people a long time. Know how to do.
So, where, what is it you plan on doing next?
Go where the wind takes us. Spread hope.
Well, if your goal is to spread hope, wouldn't it make sense to inform the people
Of this town?
of this country?
Hmm.
You are envoys of the Empire, are you not?
Sort of glance around.
No.
At least Anai and Sundry are.
If we told entire country that God was alive, what priest would know? And I suspect it will take a long time for hope to recover. If hope is discovered before or healed enough,
But the gods are manifestations of our emotions. The godling is what remains the small embers of lingering hope inside us all. If the more who feel hopeful, the more powerful hope becomes.
Right. But all the gods together died against war.
Yes. We still don't know the cause of war. Why it became as strong as it did.
we also don't know what happens if war were to try to strike down God in mortal realm.
War has not been seen upon the plain in some time.
Did you
It
look up at
mostly
the
acts
sky
through its
last night?
envoys. Yes, I saw the light go out. But it was not here.
So we were lucky. If Ward catches word that one, I mean to ask, what level is Hope in the ranking of gods?
Hope was a major god along with war.
Okay. If Ward discovers that other major god is alive and where it is, he will most likely descend immediately to slaughter it. I realize I am saying this with little god on my shoulder. I apologize for graphic words.
So your plan is to just hide and wait and
No. Guerrilla warfare.
against
I think
what?
we also need to search out others.
Against war.
You set to go to war against war.
I only think, Griswold, if we do that, that's just going to make, war more powerful. If we start our journey and continue it with violence, wouldn't that make war
No.
grow?
You
And
misunderstand my
what do you think?
words. Guerrilla warfare is in spread hope, hide. Spread hope, hide. Spread hope, hide. Find other god, maybe.
The
There could be
Yeah.
more.
power
We
that
could-
you're
Sorry, go ahead.
power that you're speaking of, Sundry, is war draws power from blatant battle, from fields of bloodshed and decapitation, men rushing into each other's own swords. What we're talking about is
Tactic.
yes.
Strategy? Okay. I can get behind strategy. The priest is still with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Father Priestman guy, is there a destination or anywhere that, might be safe for us to go next that you know of?
The safest place in all the world is the Citadel. The war
And I'm
priests have
guessing
been.
I know where that is.
Yeah, it's the capital, the current capital of the old empire. It's where you guys came from.
Oh.
It's a floating bastion in the middle of a lake that is where the base of operations for the entire defenses of the empire is set. It is the reason why the old empire has not been overtaken by the war priests.
Right. Hard to get in.
Can y'all
Hard
hear
to
the
get
thunder out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
City, no good for guerrilla warfare.
We could even start it as a rumor. We don't have to walk into a place and hold him high for everybody to see. We could start it off just with whispers. Spread the word, make people or have people understand and believe that there's hope, that it's back,
Task
and
Force Priest.
grow his strength without even revealing where we are or showing him in public.
Again,
That's
I
a good
believe the
idea.
best place to spread a rumor would be in the highest concentration of people. I do agree, I think you should leave as fast as possible after, but it may be the Citadel is where you want to go.
Task for you.
What?
You have people to spare?
I have people to spare, and we barely have any people.
They saw hope, though. You need to send them out. Say they saw hope, but not safe from here.
No. That would be asking too much. They've already lost one of their own and face threat from their priest. You should go where you feel is safe.
Threat is worse if they know it came from here. If sounds like many places, maybe better.
Denali, you're starting to sound a little bit like Jar Jar Binks.
Dude, it's hard.
I know. Then we can spread rumors ourselves.
You don't have to tell me where you're going. I know it is important to play this close to the chest, but I want to make sure you have a plan. You're literally carrying the hope of humanity with you. And we don't want you stumbling into a gorge and disappearing. It's your responsibility. Hope has chosen you to bring it back. You must do this for this world. And it's not just for the old empire, but for all the empires, for all the peoples of the world. The frozen raiders to the north, the wood elves to the west, the southern kingdom, the gnomes of the Squishlands, the merchants of the Bloodfields, even the inhabitants of the mists. They all need this. And you can take your time spreading it, you can hide, but the world will know. The world must know. It is the only way to bring the gods back. There's a lot of rain coming down out there.
Father, are you aware of the role of God Passage?
I know of Passage.
Do you understand that it had more than just a role that most people think? That passage is not just the rites of passage everyone associates, but could be passage along the road to safe haven.
Okay.
My name is Bronson. I was once priest of passage. I will help hope. I will help hope find its path.
But I also know that passage both brings back from the brink and pushes off the ledge. Which way are you going to send hope?
Is he asking me or hope?
You.
That is what hope should decide. And it is hard to explain, but it is not my decision who lives and who dies. I just help them figure out.
Hmm.
I walk up to Bronson with a painting in my hand after having taken a step away for a couple moments. Hope. Uh, uh, do you know? I hope this painting of a thick forested area uh, with a waterfall coming down, cascading down onto some glittering rocks. But beyond the waterfall, like we're looking up at the waterfall, and we see the night sky, including all the stars. This was painted before uh, the calamity, so all the stars are still there. And I show, to the best of my ability, like this is the only painting I have that has any amount of night sky. Do do you know where you're from?
Um, Hope points at the stars.
Right, but do you know which one is you? Who was you?
She shakes her. It shakes its head.
Is that something that would be common
Would
knowledge?
you be able to tell from a more accurate chart?
So star charts have been, created for centuries, but there's nothing beyond the high priests directly communicating with the gods is anything ever to certain, and the stars and change throughout the years. So there is the shifting of the stars as time goes on. When the god of the harvest is on land, it is on Dais. Um, that's during harvest
Days.
season, so those stars are missing. So it's like the shifting of the constellations, but the individual stars, which is which, is would only be known by like the high priests of their gods, and only at certain times of year. And it's a complicated process. War has been read, so war has been
Right.
able to be identified, as is the sun and moon. Um, Besides those, though, it's really not
But
certain.
Hope does not have any idea of which star would
No,
be
Hope
dead.
doesn't know which star Hope was.
Okay. Damn. Okay. I put my painting away. We still need to find others, not just. We cannot rely solely on Hope. War is not alone in this fight.
Of
Help.
course not.
The god of fighting is probably there too, on his side. So, I don't think we'll be able to find many other allies within the Citadel. Well, I do think going there in time taking a direct line of travel might be ill-advised.
So where will you go?
Well, Griswold needs to run an errand north, and if we need to stay true to his word, we go north.
Do you want us all to die?
Ideally, no.
I just want to reiterate, of the 5 of us, I have lived there. You, little person, have been there once. Griswold claims that he's been near. The other 2 are nowhere nearby. Judging from Anai and Sundry, you're both dressed in nice clothes, right?
Yeah.
They're not like mucky. Yeah.
Mine are well-traveled. Good, healthy layer of sweat.
But of really high quality.
High quality sweat.
Judging from your clothes, I am guessing that you are not used to spending multiple weeks in the freezing cold. And I would hazard that should we head north, even with proper supplies, the only 2 that might come back are myself and Rorik.
Then where do you suggest we go, Bronson?
To the Citadel. Wait. Actually, Hope, I'm going to ask you one more question. And I know you are tired, so you don't need to point or talk. You just need to hit my chest if answer is yes. This town is town dedicated to worship of hope. And it seems convenient that you fell here. Did you fall to this spot on purpose?
It seems to take a moment. And then it doesn't do anything.
Does that mean it doesn't know?
Reed only told it what to do if yes.
I see.
I
Do you
think
not know?
It hits you.
it fell in the heat of battle after being nearly killed. I don't imagine it had much time to choose.
Mm. Have you been in heat of battle much, Rorik?
Not recently.
Your instincts kick in. Hope does not know because it just acted. So it could be, and this is absurd theory, that God's instincts were to fall to places where connection was strong.
Yes.
Could be.
The map doesn't show like what towns worship what, right?
No, it does not.
Would the major centers for like the arch gods be known, since those are probably like the biggest ones?
You can make a religion roll or a history roll.
I'm going to go with religion.
I want to think back to the places
Rolls
that
are
I've
not
traveled
hot this
to.
week.
I want to think back to the places I've traveled before the calamity, and like what specifically spending the time I spent at the Citadel, and what were the major gods that they followed. Average roll.
Okay, so the Citadel, they're mostly the broad pantheon of um, emotions. So war, hope, love, lust. So the kind of the aspects of humanity, um, where the major focus is of the Citadel. Um, you know that a lot of which are all in Sun's Court. Um, the elves of the the Eastern elves, the High Elves, um, they focus a lot more on the specific subset within Earth's court of trees was a major emphasis amongst the High Elves. But beyond that, you don't really know because you rolled very badly. Not very badly, just perfectly averagely. So you know the perfectly average things for this area. You do also know from your time in the Southern Kingdom, they are devoutly devoted to the sun. In fact, they have their empire, their kingdom was broken up into three sections. There's a king and two sub-rulers. The king is known as the noon sun, and then there's the setting sun and the rising sun. They're entirely sun-oriented.
I'll mention that we can head towards if we head towards the southern population, they were devout followers of the sun, and meaning we might be able to find the god of the sun um, there, while also heading to a populated space, not just absconding into the wilderness.
I like that plan. Is there a road that you know that we should take, Anai, or should we travel off road?
What is there a road or path that I would think
So,
is safe?
absolutely not. So the only way south would be crossing the spine. You haven't tried to do so, but you would have to travel through what you know to be the Fallen Empire, where there are a number of warring tribes, warlords and the like, fighting all throughout the surrounded red area. Did I drag you guys over here yet? Yes, I did. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's war being fought throughout all of that. Then the spines themselves are near impassable mountain ranges. And now you know your time traveling, there are some passages through towards the west and towards the east. But those were, at least before the war, dominated mostly by the Bloodfield merchants, who you've probably heard word have kind of also fallen into chaos. So it would not be very safe to travel on foot. As far as by sea, you're not too sure if if the waters towards the south are safe. Griswold, you know that they are not. You actually had to do your best when making your way back up the shore to avoid, especially the area where the spine meets the ocean. You're not sure what drove you, because your memory is really shattered from the time, but you know that is dangerous water. You don't know about the other side of the continent, though. But traveling south is very dangerous. Well, traveling anywhere is very dangerous, but that's why it's dangerous traveling south.
I relay that information.
So perhaps not start by heading south?
It's going to be no more dangerous than heading towards the whatever.
Where's the Citadel again,
Citadel.
Josh?
The Citadel is in the central lake.
That is way safer, isn't it?
So it is technically the edge of the old Empire territory, but Anai and Sundry can attest that the waterways are all completely held unequivocally by the old Empire. The warring tribes have not managed to take a single bit of shoreline. So the Citadel, which is not even connected to the external shorelines, only connects to the internal shoreline, which is protected, surrounded, is almost entirely safe and has a fleet of warships that can travel up and down the rivers at will.
So yes, traveling from where we are to the Citadel is going to be way safer than going to the south.
Yes, traveling within the old Empire is safer than leaving the old Empire. It's almost like it's tutorial land.
I was getting a sense of a lot of information pointing us to the Empire as we brainstormed ideas.
But you're also welcome to leave tutorial land in any direction you want.
Right.
I tried to make
maybe we
this
should do the
feel like a
plateau
video game
in the old
sandbox.
Empire. I think we got to get through the plateau first. There should be an old man.
God damn it! Get the fuck out.
He'll
There
give
are
us
old
a
men in this
sword.
village if you want to talk to them.
He'll give us a
There you
sword
go.
because it's dangerous to go alone.
None of them had offered us apples yet, though.
I mean,
We gotta
Rorik
put
brought
this milk
peaches.
All right, let's
It's
head to the.
it's
Citadel
almond
then.
milk. You don't have to put it away. It doesn't spoil.
All right. So we head to the Citadel by way of guerrilla warfare. Yes.
Just kind of zigzagging through the remnants of the old Empire.
Yeah.
That could work.
Going to random villages, spreading hope.
There's also, Anai and Sundry know that, water travel is safe and the fastest way to do things. And considering you are on the coastline in a fishing village, you may have an easiest time going up the North River. But you could also go on foot if that's how you want to go. It's entirely up to you.
We'd be fighting
No,
against.
Zuba could not hear a word you
I don't
said.
have a lot of money, but maybe we can try to find a boat.
Yeah, you're too far away, bro.
We'd be fighting against the current, but yeah, we could just take barges and pull our way up.
It's a known travel, but you also see on the map going up that river means that you'd be passing through one of the Elven bastions, which you know is still held by the Empire. But you also have heard rumor that it's exclusively elves, and the elves have been having some. You know about the political squabbles that have been happening in the Citadel between the elves and the rest of the Empire. Not that it would be dangerous, but it would be a conflict, per se.
I've had enough water.
So has the party made a decision? You're kind of standing in the middle of town, by the way. Like, town is still happening. Like, people are coming by with, like, fish and stuff.
How did the meeting go?
The meeting hasn't been called yet because everyone's out at work right now.
Got it.
So it would be after the shift. It would be this evening.
Yeah, I mean, my vote is to go by land, guerrilla warfare style. Leave now. Screw the meeting.
I agree that we should travel by land so that we can stop places along the way, drop rumors, but I don't care if we stay for the rest of the day. Did you voice that you wanted to stay, Anai?
Yeah, I had voiced that I wanted to stay, but I will understand if we need to travel sooner.
I agree with the land idea as well. If we're in a boat, and things go wrong, we can only go up the river or down it. Whereas on land, we have many options. And I like having options.
How many days would it take to travel from where we are to the old empire? How do you get there from the shore of the lake? I don't actually know if I would know.
You've never been there, so you don't actually know how to get to the Citadel.
We don't know.
I mean, Anai and Sundry do. They came from the Citadel.
And how long would it take to get to Citadel by foot?
It's about a week if you go straight.
About a week as the crow flies. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on hike.
If you're taking roads which exist, it would be less. If you're trying to avoid roads, it will be more.
And by boat?
Much or less the same.
No, by boat it would be 4 or 5 days. You'd cut off a day or two.
Much or less the same.
That's true, yeah. You're right.
Like 7 days versus 5 days is not a significant enough difference when you're fighting going upstream.
Once we get there, are you obligated to report this to anyone, Anai? I know, or you seem to be at least affiliated with the Empire.
I have been released from their service. I was able to negotiate not full exile, but I have not been in the Citadel for nearly 3 years.
Oh. Were they no longer welcoming to your kind?
Well, dwarves have always caused a stir. But it was more they decided to no longer trust anymore, and in the heat of the rage chose to go to battle. And I think they tried to cut me off as a means to protect me in a way, but in doing so it only made it hurt more.
Are you the last of your kind?
I would prefer not to answer questions about my heritage.
Of course.
Well then, sounds like we head along land to lake. How do we, if Priest said lake or city is in middle of lake, how do we get to city from short of lake?
Usually a ferry. There are farming communities surrounding the lakes that bring food into the Citadel. They need to have a means to transport themselves and their crop into the city, so there are several ferries and docks that run back and forth.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Oh, then how do they get food onto the Citadel?
The Citadel connects via a mobile bridge to the internal coastline.
Then a mobile bridge. Also, there's got to be ferries. Like, as much as like a mobile bridge is cool, There's
Yeah.
also got to be ferries that like just are constantly moving.
Yeah, but it's the bridge that's a lot more impressive.
There's also a large bridge that connects. Usually they roll it out for visiting dignitaries, but they don't roll it out for those leaving.
So we head west to Citadel. We spread word that Hope is alive. And we search for other gods.
Constant search for the other gods.
We should also probably keep ears open for similar stories to I forgot the brother's name for a second. Romani?
Remani!
Many.
We should also keep open ears to stories similar to Rimini.
The Romani people are often referred to as gypsies, but they are the Romani. Remeni is, I don't remember what language, but it means hope.
Rimini. We should keep ears open to stories similar to Rimini of new. Oh fuck now. Of new valleys and such where there were not.
Is this the path you're taking?
That's my proposed path.
I love it.
So it's going approximately where the central bastion of the Elven Empire is. Is your intention to avoid it or go through it?
We can go to it.
That's like right about here.
That's gonna take a lot longer.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
Don't understand guerrilla warfare then.
I understand supplies. You are carrying big pack for little man. We should not take more than a week.
Have I complained? No.
I am not going to deal with you a week in when we have no food and myself and Rorik have to go out and get it. So no. We will take short path. We will stop at villages we see along the way.
So
We
I
will-
also want to point out, this is as far as the information you guys already have on the state of the world, this is the safest place in the world to be. And if this is the caution you're taking here, what are you going to do when you leave? Just wondering.
That being said, we're also like, unless the priest of war came from the sea, this is very deep into the territory that has not seen a lot of war priests in it. So that is very concerning.
My intention is to leave this open for you guys to make decisions, so I'm going to stop influencing, and I'm going to let you do what you want to do.
I think dawdling that much is unnecessary. I think we should stop at villages along the way and get to the city.
I definitely want to stop by the bastion of the Elven Empire. I think that would be a good spot to start some rumors and see what we can stir up, find any more information there.
Yeah, I guess the question, I mean, we don't have the map, but like, are there large towns or large?
So there aren't too many large towns. There are small settlements. So this is what you're currently in is the remnants of the ancient Elven Empire, which collapsed. Um, and after the collapse, there was a lot of human settlements that kind of sprung up. But with the rise of the empire, all that really remains in this region are small human settlements and then the three elven bastions. Just beyond the forest's edge is where you enter what once was a separate kingdom that was brought into the fold of the empire. And that's a lot of farmland and small towns. Then, as you continue in, is a lot more cityscapes, and then you get to the citadel. But where you are, there's just not a whole lot of people. It's really thick forests. It's mostly elven territory at this point. Elven and human settlements.
Gotcha. So there's 3 bastions. Those are in separate places?
Yes.
Can
So I'll make little boxes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we have one here, one here, and one that sticks out here.
Are these going to stay on the map for like ever?
Sure. We can use this map as a
Is there any
drawing
any
space.
chance you can fill them in with green? Right?
Yeah, I can fill them in.
If that's the case. Perfect. Oh, I like how we're adding to this map the more we figure it out. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, so in that case, why don't we just go like this then?
That seems fine by me.
So yeah, the most efficient
Maybe
way.
stop on the edge of that lake before we go. Instead of going straight, kind of going from here, boom.
Maybe the most important thing is just having a first destination.
And I believe there are actual roads. I don't remember which map I have has roads on it.
That's what I was thinking, sort of.
Oh, here it is. So there are roads that connect from each of the Elven Citadels. So from the North River, there's a road that connects directly to the Central Citadel. And then there's a road that goes... Sorry, Bastion. Connected to the Central Bastion. And then there's a road that goes straight north... Sorry, straight west. Towards the Citadel. And that's where the roads get a little bit wonky, but you know you can get very, very efficiently from the Northern Bastion to the Central Bastion. And then from the Central Bastion into the rest of the Empire.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Sweet. Uh-huh.
Okay, we have a plan.
Woo!
Great. It's very convenient that this is the plan you've decided. Because it's the order I wrote things.
That helps.
Yeah.
No way!
Hey, I was just trying to get you to the Citadel. I didn't say you had to go to the Bastions. I'm glad you made that choice on your own.
I'm only going to 2 of them.
Well, the ironic thing is I haven't written the southern one
Nice.
yet.
Amazing.
It's pretty great. All right. So that's your plan. Is your plan to leave now? To give anyone warning? Any idea where you're going? Or are you just going to book it before anyone knows anything?
I want to go down to the docks before we leave and try to see if maybe that's where the war priest came from.
All right.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
As far as so two quick things. So as far as Anai and myself traveling, is it protocol or expected that we would consult with our envoy that we're leaving and being like, oh, we don't need to travel with you anymore? And B,
You mean, are you going to inform your traveling partners that you're bailing on them? That's probably good form.
Okay. B, with our traveling party, would we regularly have access to like bedrolls, backpacks, all that crap, or is that something we'd have to like do a little shopping for,
Yeah, you two would have
or is it
those.
like a new one?
You would have them.
Okay.
Yeah,
My
cool.
phone just died, so I'm gonna be right back. I'm sorry.
part of the character creation of like choosing a class, right? It just comes with that stuff.
I'll be right back.
Josh is leaving. I'm gonna be right back in a second as well. I'm gonna grab some more water.
Agreed.
Yeah, Denali, like I chose like I think I chose an explorer's pack, but like because I'm coming in with an envoy, I didn't want to be like, you know, blah blah blah. Because if I've been sleeping in a tavern, I wouldn't be carrying a pack and a bedroll per se. But wow, there's 7 pounds. Yeah, I guess if you got some wool blankets and a ground thing, it's 7 pounds. I'm just noticing the bedroll is 7 pounds in this.
Dude, honestly, I looked at the backpack. It doesn't even make sense that all the stuff fits inside the backpacks. The backpack says it carries.
I think stuff like the rope can go on the outside.
Yeah. But like the ration, like everything else takes up
I'm
like
back.
all of your backpack space. The rations and the torches alone take up your full backpack space. That's what it is. Which is just
That's
like
annoying.
stupid. Like I don't get it. It's poorly designed.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
question is, when it says bedroll, does that count as like? Because I know a tent is a separate item.
Yeah.
But does the bedroll count as like something to cover you from the top for precipitation, or you just kind of make some branches work out?
So I'm pretty sure a bedroll is just the mat you lay down on top of. It's not even a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Really? For 7 pounds? No. If a bedroll, or is that kilograms? Hang on.
No, it's pounds.
Is it pounds? Yeah, no. If a bedroll is 7 pounds, that's got to be at least 1 to 2 blankets. I've done too much research into this not to know.
All right, I default to your superior knowledge.
I don't care what Gygax says. If you're carrying 7 pounds, it's not just a thing you can throw on the ground. I will drop you links to oilcloth and waxed canvas right now.
I already defaulted to you, man. You don't need to fight me here.
All right. But yeah, it makes sense that it might not be like top cover like tarper, because I know tent's a separate thing too. So it's definitely got to be warmthy things and ground protection thingies. Unless they're like the west. They could be like the western bedrolls. Let me see if I can find a photo.
Where did Anai go?
But do we move on?
didn't want
wants
to go
like
check the docks.
talk to someone. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
As he does that, I will go inform our envoy that we won't be around.
So what are you looking around to? Who are you going to?
Is there like a second in command, lieutenant, captain person whom I would report to?
No, your job, your propaganda is what you are. Like you're just going out trying to recruit people to join the war and go to the Citadel. That's all your job was. So you didn't really have to report in to anyone or do much.
All right, I just go to one of my traveling partners then.
Okay.
One of the guards or people I'm traveling with. Tell me who I find.
His name will be Lucas. Madam Sundry.
Lucas, I have news.
What's
As
that?
it turns out, there might be a little adjustment to the expected plan, but adjustments happen in this real world of ours. it might be best if Anai and I traveled separately from the current group in order to spread propaganda in a more efficient way. I found some companions who will take care of me and look after me, so we'll be safe. And I will be safe as well, but we have an agenda to spread the word and propagandize really, really, really in a fun way.
All right. Have fun.
Okay, thank you, Lucas. A blessing upon you to be safe, cautious, and healthy in your travels. I hope to see you again someday, Lucas. Thank you for everything.
He looks over at his companion. He's like, "We get to go home," and they just leave.
Oh, okay.
And it's two less NPCs for
So,
me
I
to
have a
deal
question.
with.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Good day for. It's a good day to be John.
I have a question for DM while we're waiting for AJ to get back. Because of the way it seemed to be that Anai was treated after her god fell, and the way that Sundry is kind of just treated as propaganda and kind of a joke, it seems. Are most former priests treated that way? Are they thought it was like no longer worth respecting?
No, it's dependent on the individual.
Okay.
Is there
I'm gonna
anything
put
else
some fish.
any of you were curious about in the village? We're doing or seeing, or are you guys all done here? We're just waiting on AJ.
Just waiting on AJ.
I'm good.
Okay, so when Zupa said he was going to go check if there was fish, I thought he was still in character,
Uh,
but he actually went to his fridge.
um, I mean, to expedite the story, I can just go with an eye to the docks to look for evidence of a war priest ship or perhaps rumors of where he came from.
Yeah. So you make your way to the dock, and I mean the ships are out at this point. You're getting towards. You're not even at noon yet, so the ships are out for the day. But there's the dock master. His hut is off to the north end of the piers, and there are a couple boats still there, but those don't seem to have been used for a long time.
Gotcha. So no active like boats. It's not
Not here.
unless
They're all out.
right, right. But there's not like a boat like waiting for the war priest to return or anything like that. It seems.
Nope.
Okay. I approached the dock master with an eye.
Okay. The door to his hut is closed.
Give it a slight knock.
All right. You can make a perception roll if you'd like.
Sure.
You hear the slightest, faintest groan.
Okay. No movement though.
Nope.
You're in there.
I knock again.
You hear the groan again.
I open the door.
Okay. You see that the dock messenger's workstation, the whole building has been trashed, and you see the dock master beaten, bloody, and broken on the floor.
That's not good.
No.
Um. I tell Anai to go get Bronson, and then I try to help the man.
All right. Do you want to make a medicine roll?
It is not wise, but why not?
Oh, not bad.
Not bad. You don't make him better, but you make him you are slowing down his worsening. You can tell that he needs real severe medical attention, or he's on the brink of death.
Gotcha. From my fishing tackle, I create a makeshift needle and thread
Suture.
to sew up any wounds
Okay.
for the use of someone who knows what they're doing.
Bronson, Anai comes running up to you and says, "The dockmaster's been beaten. Quickly, we need help."
I will run back with her.
All right, you see the scene I already described, and you see Griswold putting together a suture kit. It appears.
I will immediately go to work, trying to stem the bleeding. I'm guessing. I'm guessing he's bleeding out.
Oh yeah. And I assume Griswold, you're assisting.
Cool.
Nice work.
I would make a Nye assist since AJ's
Okay.
not here, and then
Either way.
I'll look for stuff for clues of things left behind, since people always leave things behind.
Yes. You see that there's the fireplace was recently used, and there's burnt papers in it.
Nice. I look for those in particular.
They're burnt beyond recognition, but it looks like there's the top of it is still around, and it looks like a manifest of sorts, but the information has been completely destroyed.
Gotcha.
There's also a chest in the room.
Okay.
And Bronson, you managed to stabilize the dockmaster, and you see his eyes flutter open, and he looks around. Is he gone? Now you're there for this. This is the dockmaster was beaten to near death.
Got it.
Yes, he is gone now. There is just you, me, and my companions. Your bleeding was severe, but it has been stemmed. You're going to be okay.
Thank you. No, not in front of us. You found him this way.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, you're not there. You could run up with them. You heard the Anai come to get Bronson. You could have gone with him.
High I go. I don't
Nope.
hear it.
Well, if everyone's going, then I'll go too.
Well,
All right.
not everyone is going.
Yes,
No,
no,
what did you
everyone
do?
went. Let's just make it easy for everybody. Everyone is there.
Okay.
We'll beat you.
War priest. War priest. Is he gone?
He's gone. He's gone. But you should not worry about that. You need to rest.
I'm so sorry. Silvermany, I'm sorry.
There is nothing you could have done. There is nothing anyone could have done.
How'd he get here?
Ship. He came alone. From East Cove.
Do we know where that is?
Yes. East Cove is the port city on the east coast of the Bloodfields.
That's why you don't go there. It does not matter now where he came from. He is gone. You are safe. And look, I when I went to go take care of him, I took off the little papoose. But I pick up the papoose and say, "There is God. You're going to be okay."
In case I don't, please. He points to the little safe. I have a daughter in the Citadel. Take that to her.
We'll see. It's done.
Thank you. What are you talking about? Why?
Subtle, real subtle.
It's my life savings. I have
I'm
no
going
one
to
else
trust
here.
it to strangers.
You did just save his life.
That's true. It's true.
Please.
I thought he was gonna
She
die.
needs it.
We will take it to her, but one day you must go see her yourself. My friend here tells me that there is big parade that moves around city. It is sounds very interesting. You'll have to see it yourself.
When I'm rested. And he leans back and closes his eyes.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I'll find out.
He didn't give us the combination to the safe.
That's correct. Let's see. If it's high, he dies in front of all of you in this moment.
But I rolled a 22 on my medicine.
Oh.
Hanging on by a thread.
He does not die, but he slips into a coma.
Amazing.
Fair.
What did I find in the chest? You said there was a chest.
Yeah, that's what he pointed to. The small little. It's a small
Okay.
little chest.
Oh, but it wasn't locked. Okay.
It is locked.
Oh, it is locked. Okay.
I move over and is it like sizable enough that like somebody could just carry it in a backpack per
Yeah,
se?
it's. I mean, in a backpack it would be uncomfortable. I can't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I look around for a key.
Okay, you can make an investigation roll or perception check.
Say, Josh, while he's doing that, I whisper. No, I use the word I use message, and I message to his unconscious body. Sorry, and I gingerly pat him down for a key.
As you're patting him
Or,
down, you're
his,
shifting
maybe,
his clothes around. And Anai, you just see it's on a chain around his neck. It's a key.
I reach down and slowly take it off his neck, and move over and open up the safe.
There's a mound of gold in the safe.
Cool.
We didn't get her name, did we?
Nope.
No, I'm gonna go ask around outside. I'm gonna take the gold. Is there a sack or anything in here that I could borrow?
Yes, there's bags in the room.
Cool.
You fill a bag with 100 gold pieces.
Cool. Also, I'm gonna take 10 gold and leave it behind. And write a note saying for your travels once you recover. And put that back into the safe. So I have 90 gold.
Can I do a perception check around the building to see if there's anything that would mention I guess not a picture, but his daughter's name or any information that we can use.
You can make an investigation check.
I'm gonna go out and just talk to people on the docks and ask them this question.
Okay. You don't find a name. So the docks, there's a ship that rolls in. and unloads their first catch for the day.
You there, points to the third person off the boat. What was the name of the dockmaster? He's seemed to be taken ill, and
There are actually only 2 people on the boat.
all right. Well, then I asked the second one.
Okay, give me a high or low real quick.
Low. Low is good.
Okay. You let the first guy go by, and you address the second guy, and he does not react to you at all.
Well, okay then. Only a minor pain in the ass.
Oh, don't mind him, says the first one. He was deafened in the war.
Do you have the dockmaster's name then, good sir?
Dockmaster Kellard? Of course.
Kellen was the name?
Kellard.
Seems to have become quite injured.
What? How?
Yes.
He drops his fish and runs over there.
He's stable for now. I follow after him at like a light jog.
My God. Did you do this to him?
No, this was the work of the war priest that came through here recently.
Are they in the building at this point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before they got there, any trinkets that I can take?
Sure. There's a little ship and a little glass bottle.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna ask them. Do you know the name of Dockmaster's daughter in Citadel?
Let me just double check. Oh, I have so many pages. Hold on. Yeah, Winona.
Last name Ryder.
No, last name Kellard. More than one person can have the name Winona.
Shh. I was just making a joke. God,
You didn't do it well enough.
screw you.
He better read.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, be better. Gosh.
Well, Dockmaster Killed. He is stable, but I don't know how long till he recover. He will need attention and care until he wakes.
Of course, we'll get right on that. Thank you.
Thank you, friends.
However, we'll
Be bountiful.
My name's Terrence.
Thank you, Terrence. May your harvest be bountiful.
As much as it can be, right?
that was
Whoa.
a fucking waste of a nat 20.
What was that
I want to
for?
roll in, for whether or not they're actually going to take care of him.
Yes!
I don't know. People are greedy.
You happen to know that Terrence is a good person. He works with Kane because no one else will, because Kane is deaf and hard to work with because he's grumpy about it, and both of his sons are dead. That's what you know from this.
Jesus.
Damn.
Damn.
It's also a small town, and like everybody is like knows each other, and like
Right, which is why if you
know,
ask around even a little bit, you're gonna get information, but y'all decided to leave.
What? What do you mean?
Yeah.
You're like, we should leave right now. And then Anai decided to go to the docks to ask around, and lo and behold, you got information from the first person you talked to who was almost dead that was pertinent. It's almost like it wrote a whole town. I'm sorry. Continue.
No,
This
I
is
mean,
your
we can
sandbox.
stay.
No.
We can always come back.
I know. I'm just being grumpy because it's funny. I don't care.
Where did the war priest come from?
East Cove.
A boat.
East
Came from the
Cove.
south.
Yes.
I'm
I'm
going to be good and actually take notes this campaign.
Yeah, I'm trying to take some notes as well.
I was gonna suggest we should make a group document that we can keep track of all the side quests.
That's fair. It's probably a good idea.
Here's to that.
And I'm also going to tell the two dock workers, shipmen, seamen.
Oh boy. You should all have party notes now.
Dockmaster Keller asked that we take money he had in safe to his daughter in I forgot the name of the city for a second.
Citadel.
Citadel.
In the Citadel.
Okay. My turn to make a roll.
That's only a little scary.
Oh god.
Wait a second. You're telling me you found him, beaten and unconscious, in time to save him. Just before he slipped into a coma, he told you to take all of his money and leave.
You'd never believe it.
You're right.
Friend, I know it sounds strange, but that is the events that occurred. You can look for yourself. There's the only blood in our hands is that of trying to stop his wounds from happening.
You can roll
Furthermore, friend,
persuasion with advantage.
advantage persuasion. How's a 21 look?
Okay. I mean, this is all just too much to believe. Hope coming back, a war priest being in town. You understand the skepticism.
Completely understandable, my friend. And I don't want to put you or your friend at odds with one another or with the Dockmaster, but we are planning on traveling to the Citadel, and we will find Winona and make sure the money gets to her.
So you guys are going to the Citadel.
At some point, yes.
Well, good luck. Let Winona know I still want her back.
Well, if she went that far to get away from you, I highly doubt she'll.
She went that far to join the council in order to represent our city, our village, in the war effort. Not to get away from me, she assured me.
Well, in that case, I am sorry for misspeaking.
He walks away
Shields,
dejected.
Council member? Well, if she is council member, that will make it easier to find her.
Nice. What is this building, by the way?
Which one?
The
Big
big
long
long
one?
one? Yeah,
That's a storehouse.
gotcha.
Lots of fish and grain. And salt. All right.
Salt.
So are y'all sticking around for the town meeting, or are you skedaddling now?
Get.
Skedaddling's probably for the best.
I don't know. I mean, we just showed up with this god, and then we're gonna peace out at the end of the first day. Like, I feel like
That's true. I think
it'll make it seem like we're abandoning, or that Hope is abandoning these people.
that's fair. Maybe waiting till tomorrow after the town meeting. Uh, I think
We-
we'll might be able to gain some information on uh, if anybody in the town was working with the war priest, as well as being able to have our supplies fully stocked.
That's fair.
And then we can explain to the town that it's not safe to stay, and then peace out.
Right.
Alright.
Unrelated to staying in town or not, Josh, I just thought about, can I roll history or some other kind of check on the guy Roz for the side quest in the north?
Sure.
See if I ever met him.
Yeah. This would be a good time for your natural
I
20.
would go.
Mm-hmm.
History then.
Sure. Nope. Alright, so you wait out the rest of the day, probably planning more accurately your logistics, figuring out resources and that sort of idea. As the last ships come in before sundown, everything is unloaded. The town bell rings, and everyone gathers in front of the mayoral office over here. Everyone's looking around. You see the mayor standing out front. Looks around, counts. Kind of leans over to the sheriff right next to him. She kind of shakes her head. And when everyone's settled down, the mayor speaks and says, before we get started, has anyone seen Bagod? Everyone kind of looks around and shakes their heads. And turns to the sheriff. Kale, go check his house. And she walks off towards the north, right across from the Rumeni's house. While we wait, I just want to address we all last night experienced, and I want to address it from a formal capacity. The gods have returned. Hope is back. Small, yes. Yeah, everyone's cheering. But
I
they have not been
illusions
slain.
firework.
War has failed. And these 5 heroes have brought back from the brink what we thought was lost. Hope. Both the god and the feeling. And I don't remember why I was calling a town meeting. Oh, to kick everyone out. That's right.
Suggest everyone leave because it's
Right.
probably not safe.
Lutus requested this town meeting because of the appearance of a war priest here. We now know the war priest came to find hope and destroy it. And as we've been warned by the delegate Anai, more may be coming. It may no longer be safe to remain here. So I turn to all of you and ask, do we stay in our homes? Or do we flee like all other refugees flee? There's a bit of muttering. Someone stands up and says, I think we have enough in the storehouse. If we hitch up enough buggies, we can make our way to past the central bastion and into old shoot. As card. Man, it's been so long. Old Aragorn. And I think in Aragorn, I've heard there's enough space out in the farmlands that we can set up. I don't know what we'll do once we run out of fish, though. He sits back down. Everyone kind of mutters to themselves. At this point, Sheriff Kale makes her way back, shaking her head, and walks up to the mayor. Locked up tight. I don't know if he's asleep or nobody's home. And the mayor nods and says, we'll look into that later. But I agree it may be time that we leave. The priest stands. But the church has been restored. For the first time in 3 years. There's no dust in the halls, and there's lights in the beacons. How can we just leave this behind? And I suppose I will keep talking to myself. The mayor says,
For being the DM.
I'm just wondering if any of you want to step in, but apparently not.
I want to interact differently.
Okay.
I'm going to hand Hope off to Rurik and go check out the house they were looking at.
All right. The house is locked up, and I'll get to you in a second as I continue the real-time speech that I am making up in the moment.
True DMing.
Thank you. Yes, we've finally restored the church, but I don't think hope came back to us so that we can die at its feet. I think it came back so that we may live. And I think the way to do that is to leave. I think we have to go. And everyone's nodding and muttering, and the priest says, I will not go. Anyone who wants to stay with me may, but I will tend to the House of Hope as I have always tended to it. And should the war priest befall, I may be able to let you all know. If the powers of hope are strong enough, I may be able to give a warning. They all nod and mutter. And the mayor turns and says, so it's settled. Gather your things. We'll create a buggy train. And we'll head straight to the citadel. We'll head straight to Aragorn. Everyone nods and stands, and a man who is obviously the blacksmith stands and says, anyone who needs help with hitching or shoeing, stop on by. I think I speak for all of us in this, I say. I think it's on the house. And everyone kind of laughs. And they break off and go their own ways. Bronson, you get to the house and the door is completely locked.
Bash, 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 bash.
Make a strength roll if you want to break it down.
Can I roll perception around the hut first?
Sure.
Looking for signs that he may have been spying on Remeni and the siblings.
Perception or investigation?
I'm going to go with perception.
Hey, Josh, Madam Sundry would be a few beats behind, but as she sees Bronson going off, she's like, we can't keep these boys in check. Don't go off on your own.
Bronson is a 40-year-old man. He does what he wants.
I can tell. That's why I'm following you.
I'm sorry. Can someone talk? I had to mess with some things.
Hmm?
Okay, cool. We're good.
I rolled a 16 on my perception.
Okay. You don't see anything to indicate there's any sort of spying being done from over here.
Okay. Do I hear anyone from the inside?
Nope.
Fuck it, they're leaving anyway. I'm gonna knock the door down.
Great. Strength roll. Okay. You bounce off the door. This is about when Sundry walks up.
Wait, is the door down?
No.
No. Hello? Are you
Josh.
okay in there?
Is there a response?
There's no response.
Is there any sort of cracked window or space underneath the door or the keyhole in which a small, thing the size of a orb of light could fit? Yay or nay?
High or low?
High is yes, there is.
No, there's not.
So for comedic purposes, because there's not, I find a tiny hole and I'm like, this might work. I reach in my little pouch, I grab my little ball of light-looking friend, and I'm like, come on, you can do it. Get in there. And it's just like squeak. It's like it's like squeaking comedically as I try to shove it in this hole and it doesn't work. So I'm like, you're useless.
And
I
then
shove
it
back in my
flashes a
pouch.
bunch of colors and turns invisible.
Yeah, I bet it does. Let me think. Well, I don't really know how we're gonna get in here. Do you want to try to bash down the door together? Maybe with two of us it'll work.
I am a little concerned I may hurt you.
All right, how about we do this? I start rubbing his shoulders and enact the help action.
So
And then
I would
smack
like
him
to
on the
point
butt.
out,
All right, go for it.
you are 3 feet tall and he is over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, that's
So
not working.
how you're rubbing his calves?
All right, fine.
You jump up on his back and start rubbing his shoulders.
I'm rubbing the calves.
Before I try and knock this door down again, first off, does it look like a door? Is it a door that can be locked from the outside, or is it only you can lock it from the inside?
It seems like it's from the inside.
All right, I'm gonna knock it down again, or attempt to.
There
we
you go. So you really feel that loosening up your calves really helped you get the grip you were looking for, as you just barrel through this door that you couldn't get through before. And as you pound into the room, you notice that there's no blood, there's no papers rustled around on the floor, but it does look like drawers half open. There are empty spaces. The bed is not made. It looks like someone may have left in a hurry.
I have feeling that this may be person who tipped off Ward Priest. I don't know how,
What makes you
and I could be completely wrong. But why else would they be leaving, running away before everyone else?
I mean, we also saw someone earlier today who had a goal to get a bunch of gold to his daughter in a very far away place. I mean, there's people here who do stuff on ships. Maybe there's some that trade by cart. There could be personal reasons, but it would answer a lot of questions if there was someone who did tip off a war priest. You're right, maybe. How do we figure it out? Do you think there's like something here? Are there any quills nearby, Josh?
Yeah, there's a writing desk right next to the fireplace.
Okay, I examine the writing desk.
All right.
I pick up a quill. I tickle my nose with it.
You need to sneeze.
Do I get any sensation of what sort of emotions were last used in this quill as I rub it against my nose?
What?
I mean, you could say no.
Yeah.
Or should we roll for it?
No. I'm
All
gonna be
right.
able to give you a blurb.
Hell yeah.
You rub it against your nose, and you get the feeling that there was anticipation and progression, but then you really need to sneeze.
Bronson, do you know what this means? This this quill is it tickles of anticipation. And in this small little village, I don't think there's too much to be excited about. Let's keep digging around. I pull open a drawer of the writing desk.
Okay. You find extra papers.
Is there any ink in there?
No, I mean, no, the ink's on the desk. They wouldn't be in the drawer.
Okay. I huff the ink.
What
All right.
the fuck?
Make a Constitution save, please.
Any sensations? That sounds about right. Good thing I didn't make a negative con mod character.
Okay, you get a little bit woozy, but you don't get anything.
Oh,
more
Bronson,
than
I think I'm feeling something on this one. Whoa. Okay, Bronson, you take a turn. I'm going to tap out for a second. And I just sit down in the writing desk chair.
Okay, I want to do what Bronson can actually do instead of investigate, which is I would go out around the house and look for like prints of where this person probably snuck out of and where they went.
Okay, make a roll. Survival check.
Yeah.
Okay, you notice a couple things. You
Nice
notice
work.
footprints heading south, and you notice amongst those footprints, pressed into the ground, is a little bit of ash. It seems like this would have been about 2 days ago.
So the day before the war priest arrived.
Correct.
Well, that's awfully convenient.
You also find...
Bronson, what'd you find? What'd you
also
find, man?
On the doorstep,
Oh, my head.
the remnants of either crow or raven excrement.
Okay.
Is that a known communication method?
Yes, it is.
No. Interesting. So he tipped off the war priest using a crow, and then had some sort of deal, probably to head south to East Bay. Is that what it's called?
East Cove.
East Cove, and live a nice little cozy life there for tipping them off about a god. I'm going to... Ash still doesn't make sense, though.
Bronson,
I'm going,
fine, man. Anything good?
it looks like there is crow poop on the door, or near door. And our mystery man headed south. For some reason, there is some ash. Is it there's ash like pushed into the footprint?
It's as though it was on the bottom of his shoe when he left.
So he stamped something into the fireplace, probably.
Potentially.
I'm gonna go check out the fireplace.
All right. Make a perception roll.
As you come in, I get up from the chair and actually help out.
Fuck.
Sundry, you want to make a perception roll?
I'm guessing as Bronson explains what we're up to, looking in the fireplace, I'd love to make a... Can I make investigation instead, or always perception for this?
You can do investigation.
Okay, I just have a lot more pluses in investigation.
And
But apparently
yet
not
you got
enough.
the same roll.
Fuck.
Roll with advantage, both of you.
Thank you, DM.
Wow. Wow! You find nothing.
Are we... Okay. Okay.
I can't help you more than that.
Okay.
Fuck. So we just
Alright.
dig through the ashes of this and find absolutely nothing.
Yep.
Maybe it's not this fireplace we should be checking. Maybe it's a different fireplace. I don't know, Bronson.
There would be footprints coming. It would be coming directly from other fireplace, or there would be
Right.
ash footprints
Now-
from.
I mean, the other option is also that whatever it was completely burned.
Like burned alive.
Where are those ashes outside? Let me take a look at those.
Whatever was pushed into the fireplace could just be the ashes that you are shoving around. It's
Oh, yeah.
possible there's nothing salvageable.
Yeah.
There is something salvageable, but y'all didn't find it.
Well, maybe if Griswold and I and Burke make their way over here, they'll find something.
Maybe, but that's something we'll have to find out next week.
Oh, man.
Because it is already 10 p.m., and I know some people work. So, this is where we will cut off. So thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for playing. We'll play again either next week or the week after, depending on the nonsense that is Zuba's schedule.
I think this this is a weird scenario. The Monday that will be the Monday that will happen next, I will still not be working.
So you should be free next week.
Wait, why can't you just say next
week is
Monday?
Because he's still channeling
because
Sundry.
in my head I have. Yes, let's go with that, please. I like that excuse.
All right.